We'll start on the defensive line, the edge guys, the defensive tackles
big butt
here.
guys.
The big butt guys. And here are the names that we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of guys off the radar. We've been talking about these guys all year long because of what we do with the Big Butt Awards. But your first-team defensive lineman, Chris Jones, Dexter Lawrence, I mean, I don't want to give away what I'm doing with the Big Butt Awards, but those guys
they're
going to
be on there.
Those guys had dominant years.
Yeah, they're dominant. You know, they are. Chris Jones was the best D tackle in football this year. Dexter Lawrence, for me, was a little bit of that guy that I don't know if people really realized how awesome he was all year. Didn't necessarily have sack numbers that put it up that way, but his ability, just like game-changing plays like the last play against the Vikings, right? No stat, but he was about to crush Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins had to throw the ball before he wanted to, and he had to throw it short of the chains, right?
Yep.
Had to throw a little 4-yard out instead of trying to get it past it on the 4th and 8.
He dominated that game.
He dominated the game. He had a lot of games of domination, and the stats won't always say that. I think he's up there for not only one of the best interior pass rushers and pushing the pocket, but of course one of the best run-stopping D tackles in football. I couldn't overlook his year. I thought it was a special first-team All-Pro type of year.
So you thought that the AP and totality ended up putting him second team and the Jets' Quinnen Williams first team.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not. I mean, Quinnen, see, again, this is to me where Quinnen has more of the stats or the splash plays, right? So that's where I look at it and go, hey, Quinnen's awesome. I get that. But, I think between his sacks and then, Dexter not getting enough credit for the play up, or hey, he's got 3 guys triple teaming him and he's just like, oh, I'm standing here so everybody else can make the tackle and there's still no hole, right? He doesn't get the credit for that type of stuff. But Quinnen Williams, I'm not mad at that. Certainly not. He's my second team guy. He was awesome this year. He really was. The guy I was shocked at was Jeffrey Simmons winning second team, where I put Christian Wilkins. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is the man, too. I mean, we're talking about studs. But this, to me, was not one of his best years. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't watch a Dolphins game without going, who the is that guy running around the field with that big ass making all these tackles, right? Or listening to the announcers go, man, when you watch Christian Wilkins. I mean, so that to me, I had to give him the love. He was second teamer for me.
Yeah. Pete wants to know if that was a Chris Collinsworth impression.
It did have
a little bit of a here's the guy, and I think I texted you too. I was like, hey, let's give some love to Christian Wilkins, and you're like, I already did that.
Yeah.
Because I think he did miss a little bit of time.
Little time, right? It wasn't much.
Not much.
I want to say maybe 1 or 2 games, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing that. But to me, again, it's the versatility of what Christian Wilkins is, what he's asked to do too. See, Quinnen Williams, it's just one gap, win that gap. Christian Wilkins, they go.
Oh, he did play every game?
They go. It was every game.
Okay, so I was wrong.
So he win that gap, and then they also ask him the 2 gap, right? That's like with Dexter Lawrence. So they ask him to win with like the speed shooting the gap thing, but then also hold people up and just control the giant human on earth, no problem. And to me, I give that some value. And they're going to have to pay him some big money here soon.
Your edge guys, you went with Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons first team. You didn't have Micah Parsons at linebacker, so that was good.
Well, that was one of the funny things because I was a little late turning in my ballot, and I was like feeling so bad. It's my first year, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry I turned in the ballot. It was a day I was going to see Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. It was due,
right?
A lot
going on.
I was a little stressed that day. And then I was like, oh, I'll do it and finalize it when I'm on the plane. And then they had no Wi-Fi in the plane. I was like, oh, my gosh, this guy's going to kill me. So that night when I finally said I'm really, really sorry, I was like, damn, what a great first impression I made. And he's like, don't worry, I'm still chasing half the voters to tell them that Micah Parsons is not a stand-up linebacker anymore. So that made me feel better.
I've seen him play that once or twice. So you had Bosa and Parsons as your first team guys. You had Myles Garrett and Max Crosby second team.
Yeah, the one where. First off, I think Nick Bosa and Mike Parsons for me were clearly the guys. Clearly. Myles Garrett, to me, was clear. The one I did go back and forth was Max Crosby and Hassan Reddick. It is. I mean, Reddick is phenomenal.
He did get Reddick second team.
Yeah, I know.
Crosby.
I know. And I guess where I feel a little, or maybe the thing that I feel like Max was all year long, where Hassan might have been more came on strong at the end of the season type of thing. And then, the other part of Max that I don't think gets talked about, because we just talk about the sacks and all that, I would argue that Max Crosby plays harder, like him and Christian Wilkins, the guy we just talked about. They might play harder than anybody in football on a down-to-down basis. They never come off the field, and it's pedal to the metal every play, whether it's like, whoa, they just chased the guy 30 yards downfield, and then it's still pedal to the metal in the pass rush the next play. So that's kind of where I gave him a little bit of an edge over that one. But that was one that kept me up a little bit, where I was like, man, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong with this one. But Max is a hell of a player. Hassan is too. They're both worthy of it.
Yeah, some of these are so difficult.
Oh, it's like
there's 5 or 6 players that had really, really good years, and they're pretty equal.
Thanks for watching, homies. Hit subscribe to see all my Unbuttoned videos. You get to see me, Ahmed Fareed, all the big player breakdowns, game breakdowns, player interviews, and my film analysis. So please subscribe. Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Peace out.